Who's cracking me up right now, y'all. So that's why.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
But what's happening, family? We finna go live with Chairman Fred Hampton
I
Jr.
believe we're
right
live
now.
right now.
And check us
And
out, family. Also on Instagram. I don't know my Instagram name, but just look for my name and you'll find it or whatever. But we're live and we're going to Chairman.
okay, so we live, and we live on Free to Gates Productions. Um, Pebbles is hosting the podcast. I'm your gracious host, Latrice Gates, and our special guest is Brand Hampton Jr. And let me, before I have you introduce yourself, I want to say that it's an honor, it's a pleasure to have you here. I'm a huge fan, I don't like to say fan, but a huge follower of your father, the late, great Fred Hampton Sr. And it's just, I'm just happy to find you.
Yeah.
Because brothers like you are not in the spotlight and we don't hear about you. So it was great that you reached out to me right away. And not a lot of people will do that.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy about that. So let's just get into it. Briefly tell us introduce yourself to our audience.
Well, first and foremost, I'm honored and humbled to be here. Um, I got a saying. I said I feel fortunate to have fallen from the tree of two freedom fighters, that of Chairman Fred Hampton Sr. and also that of Akur and Jerry, formerly known as Deborah Johnson. In the eyes of the government, I've said that I may be defined as a three-strike offender. One, just for being African. Two, for being the son of Chairman Fred Hampton and also Akur and Jerry. And three, for continuing to fight for the liberation of our people. And take the position that if the government or anybody considers that a crime, so be it. I'm honored to presently chair an organization, the Black Panther Party Cubs, or better yet, Prisoners of Conscience Committee / the Black Panther Party Cubs. The organization that's carrying the legacy of the Black Panther Party. I'm a servant of the people. I'm a former political prisoner. I was held captive in some of the most notorious concentration camps, where many people euphemistically they try to water down, it's called them jails or correctional centers. I was held captive close to 9 years, just a number of different concentration camps in Illinois. I chair an international organization, and I'm a revolutionary, a servant of the people. I'm honored to do that.
I want to say thank you for your service. You're greatly appreciated. Briefly tell us about your father, Fred Hampton.
Kara, I'm speaking as objectively as I can. In fact, I'll tell you, say, why you, when you talk about it, you say Chairman Fred. And I always stress that I think it's important that I'm not minimizing them to say that, I'm just tripping, you never hear me say the police killed my daddy, and attempt to lay out in the dynamics and put in the correct context that the United States government assassinated one of our most charismatic, courageous representatives of our movement. This school is Mike. Okay, y'all hear me good? He was at the age of approximately the age of 14 years old. The federal government had recognized his organizing capabilities when it was noted that he took on such organizing feats as taking the junior NAACP from about 7 to 300 members in a 7.5-month time period. In fact, when they called for a wiretap to be placed on my grandmother's phone, his mother's phone, and keep in mind you, we're not talking about modern times, in the 60s. Well, they called for a wiretap to be placed on his phone. They thought it was a typo. When they got to Washington, D.C., they say, y'all can report as being 14 years old. And they thought it was a typo. At the age of 19, he later became the deputy chairman for the state of Illinois for the chapter of the Black Panther Party. And under his tenure, a lot of the Black Panther Party programs, such as the Black Panther Party Free Breakfast Program, they fed a minimum of 3,500 children a week.
Yes.
He was able to grapple and deal with, and keep mind you, talking about Chicago too, which was and still to this day remains one of the top segregated countries and cities in the country. And and he was able to win different forces, you know what I'm saying, from different points of unity. And in fact, that's who organized the Real Deal Rainbow Coalition. Many revisionists try to say it was Reverend Jesse Jackson. It was Chairman Fred who got the Young Patriots, a group of poor whites from the Appalachian Mountains, and won certain points of political unity. The Young Lords, under the leadership of Cha-Cha Jimenez, a Puerto Rican organization, brought them certain points of unity. And a lot of people call gangs, we say no, we call them unpoliticized street tribes. One of the formerly known Devil Disciples, who later renowned themselves the Black Disciples, the Vice Lords, and one in certain, the Blackstone Rangers became the Black Peace Stone Nation, one in certain points of unity. And even by the government's own admission, when the Black Panther Party was in existence, there was a record law they called Black on Black Crime. He was subsequently assassinated for his, for the work what he did, as well as a number of other members of that organization under the vicious COINTELPRO, counterintelligence program.
Now, your father was assassinated, like as you said. After his assassination, and him being the head, I believe, of the chapter in Chicago, what happened to the BP party after that?
Actually, Illinois was the chapter, Chicago was the branch. You had Rockford, you had Peoria, you had a number of different branches in the state of Illinois, but that was the largest chapter of the Black Panther Party throughout the world. And that was a military, that was a hell of a blow that the government had sent, you know what I'm saying? In fact, even the way that they assassinated Chairman Fred in the Fifth Mark Clark, like, you can correlate this to the plantation times during chattel slavery, when pregnant sisters ran away. They just didn't go out there and kill them. They brought them back in front of the other people, other enslaved people on the plantation, slit their pregnant stomachs open in front of the masses of people, and stomped the fetus to death. And that sent a message of terror to terrify the people for generations to come. Former Director of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, and in fact, former Attorney General John Mitchell, they had said the Black Panther Party had to be wiped out by the end of 1969. They said the Black Panther Party was represented the #1 threat to the internal security of the United States. They knew who to lock up. They knew who to kill, and even how to kill them. They strategically, the Chicago police, under the direction of the FBI, when they assassinated 21-year-old Chairman Fred, when they came in the house that morning, when they pulled my mother to be, who was 8.5 months pregnant with me, and they jammed that pistol to her stomach. Now, when I talk about it, I say, the first prenatal care I got was not a doctor's stethoscope, but it was a Chicago Police Department's revolver. That's the first piece of steel I came into contact with. Defense Captain Juan Clark, 22 years old, who was assassinated. The Chicago police was parading his body out, laughing, chanting, Chairman Fred is dead. And that was a major blow to not just to the Black Panther Party, but to the Black Power movement. And simultaneously, as they hit certain forces, they raised up softball, more palatable, or better yet, like punks, and not coming to be our leadership. They raised them up. You know, they got rid of the go-getters. They flooded our community with various forms of plantation poison, dope, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, man, bam, bam, bam. It wasn't just no single hit. So, you know what I'm saying? And then the whole COINTELPRO, you had people who were forced underground, many people locked them on trumped-up charges. We got Asada Shakur, who's still in political exile right now. So it was like constant blows that hit the Los Angeles chapter of the Black Panther Party. So it was like death blows, bam, bam, bam. And then add to that, we went through a stage where a lot of people was scared to talk about it or couldn't talk about it. Couldn't really put together. I remember struggling with this one cat from another organization. He said something like, the Black Panther Party just faded away. I said, no, that's nonsense. I said, your leadership might have told you that because y'all was hiding up under the beds when it was getting down. It was a military blow. Ideologically we won, but it was a military blow that we suffered. Then, our people again was not able to talk about it. You had, unbeknownst to me, I came into contact with people who really didn't know what the Black Panther Party was. So we really just get into the stage and game, as a recent, to have some real deal discussions on what the Black Panther Party was, what their legacy represented.
I agree. So what was life with growing up in Chicago without a father and getting, I'm not sure when you came into the knowledge of what happened to your father, but what was like for you and your mother?
I said before, the government in a graphic depiction, they blatantly took my father. I mean, they blatantly assassinated him. But the reality is, in one case or another, covertly or overtly, directly, indirectly, all of our fathers, they come, shoot them down, string them up, attempt to punk them out, lock them up, to take even, it's not just in our communities, but on media, everything. That's why, like in Good Times, James Evans was one of the few examples you can see of, black man in the household.
Yeah.
But add to that, you never seen him outside the house. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's a part of the breaking process. And it's not to say that the sisters, the black women are not under attack. You know what I'm saying? But the whole strategic war tactic with that, and so I think with me, my life is a microcosm or an example of what happens to all of us in one way or another. It just was, graphically expressed. I was asked before, well, how did even symbolisms of manhood, how did you deal with that? And that's something that whoever you are, even animals, I think they talk on horse breeding. They say there's so many problems with the orphan horse. They say cause the horse has no example to look at, just simple things on how to walk. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so it's a lot of times in our community, we talk about how bad the children are. We take for granted that people just automatically know basic stuff. And I say, I think about the conversations. I would listen to cats talking about just how to shave. You know what I'm saying? Just different dynamics like that. And kind of like a lot of times they do in the kitchen, they take the scraps and make the meals. I would look at different examples of my community, different brothers in the community, you know what I'm saying? And I learned lessons. And also I was provided a legacy. You know what I'm saying? I said in the poem one time, I'm also a poet, I do poetry. I'm a revolutionary, but I do poetry. But I said, I learned lessons from your legend of what a man was supposed to be, talking about Chairman Fred. I would listen to the old war stories inside the prison, the concentration camp. I would literally go around the brothers, this before a lot of the young cats, the garbage cans, they had them plastic garbage cans, they had the steel garbage cans with the wood burning, you know what I'm saying? So I would just walk up to them, they had to drinking their white pork with the Kool-Aid in it, listen to them tell me old war stories about Chairman Fred. I would listen to cats, different leadership of the street tribes, cat Don Boney with the black gangsters. He told me I was locked up. How you remember when he was in Menard? How he locked the joint down. And they heard a couple of weeks later, I had Chairman Fred that got assassinated. And when the bars opened, he came out, did a poem in honor of Chairman Fred. You know what I'm saying? So different brothers and sisters in the community. You know what I'm saying? Even his adversaries. When I was locked up, even how old prison guards would, how they would respond to me. You know what I'm saying? Even how his tombstone right now is still shot up annually. Where he's buried at, Chairman Fred, in Haynesville, Louisiana. The police still shoot his tombstone up. And we had to struggle one time. One of my comrades was saying, we need to raise money to reface it. I said, no, that's a statement. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's a statement. When some of these cats that was in the party where the state raised them up and put them out there as spokespersons, these tame, these domesticated cats, they still shook up from Chairman Fred in the graveyard.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? That's a statement. You know what I'm saying? They got pictures of me and him in the gun towers in Menard Penitentiary right now. You know what I'm saying? But and also back to the core of your question. In fact, there's one brother that just passed, Frank Stutterbutter. And even I think back when I was a youngster, different cats and whatever, even in the streets, whatever. I would do what Marcus Garvey said: take what apply and let the rest fly. So I would take different examples from different brothers. I sing, you know what I'm saying, pick up and add that to that legacy, that layout, that template that I had. I was provided with Chairman Fred.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's terrible. Even from the grave, they still threatened by your father.
They still shook up.
And that's why I love your father, because as 21 years old, he had the mind that normally I would say maybe somebody about in their 30s would be thinking about. He was so much ahead of his time.
Yes.
That's why he was so much of a threat, and they had to feel like they had to get rid of him.
They had to.
Wow. A lot of our unsung heroes died broke, lived in poverty. A lot of the organizations they supported did not come back to the family and help the family. And one of the prime examples is Malcolm X. If I'm not mistaken, I might have the number wrong. I think Malcolm X died with maybe $35 in his pocket. And Betty Shabazz had to raise some girls by herself. They struggled. Did the BP party, and I know that, they was attacked on all fronts.
Yeah.
It was very hard for them to come back and try to help when one member go down, let's support that member because another member then went down.
Yeah.
But did they come and help you and your mom, or did other organization come into place?
That's a continuous price that I've seen so many people pay for their principle stance and their politics, and that's I'm glad you pointed that out, because it's not only, I'm thinking about the statement that Winnie Mandela has said about prisoners. She said when someone is in prison, it's not just the prisoner that's that's doing time, the impact on the family, the community, everything. And I think about like even the struggles that Fannie Lou Hamer went through, like even had I'm paraphrasing, about even to get her hair braided from the sister down the street. These are last week we celebrated the life and legacy of Minister U.E.P. Newton, and his nephew was on, and we talked about even prior to his assassination. Yes, prior to his assassination, how the IRS had took 2 homes from him. How he was homeless. Wow. And these are the unglorious stories. You know what I'm saying? That people. I think people see leather jackets and the berets, and they romanticize about struggle. Right. This is this is the attacks that so many forces go up under. And I think about the jobs and the struggles. My mother comrades, so many other forces went through. And I think the people like Jerry Odinga Dunnigan, who was in the Panther Party, who's still locked up right now to this day. And it's it hurts. It hurts. And in fact, a saying that Minister U.E.P. Newton said too, that one of the most difficult jobs is fighting in the interest of the people, even when they don't know their own interests. But that sacrifice, and then also to see other people benefit off of positions that that as someone that you've taken. And we're not in this for the pay, but the deal is that's reality. Cats gotta eat and people need heat. That's reality. Right. Exactly. And that's also part of the demoralizing and stop people from getting involved in struggle. To say this will happen to you. You either come dead or broke. You know what I'm saying? In fact, we say with our organization, we broke, we're not broke. Now that's why it hurts me. Like even in this day and age, with so many people are raised up with resources, and they can assist on something. They can't be the frontline freedom fighter, but with some assistance with it. And because of the Black Panther Party, that organization took so many blows, and not just my family, but so many other families in our community were attacked. You know what I'm saying? But like in any struggle, the ones that are more palatable, the ones who really wasn't get down, they're raised up and they profit. They profit of our pain. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And then I gotta say, a lot of people are black when it's beneficial. They're Panthers when it's profitable. Yeah. And they claim to be black Cubs when it's comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And that we have to call that contradiction. And I think in our community we need to reward those who do the right things, repercussions for those who don't. And so just to answer your question, I don't have no bitterness for the positions and the sacrifice and the commitment that Chairman Fred and the Black Panther Party took. But the record should reflect that there were certain, I distinguished those who were Black Panthers from those who were in the Black Panther Party. Okay. I distinguished that. Right. And there were some individuals who left a cub out in the wild for the pigs to eat. Yeah. Who did there were those who were in the Black Panther Party who left cubs and left other party members out in the wild for the pigs to eat. In other words, for the system to come and attack them, lock them up, kick them out their homes, constantly harass them, and those who were in the not those who were Black Panthers, those who were in the who was around, who were maybe at the tailgate party outside the football game. They were never in the huddle or the struggle. You know what I'm saying? And you hear about later on they raised them to then you like, and I went through my stage of confusion seeing people have access to resources. Like, what we going through. Why you can't assist? But I'm clear. A lot of people are not sold out. A lot of people, they have been consistent. If you go back and look back then, they want the same thing back then. But there was an atmosphere that forced them to at least play like you about the business.
You know what? I think we kind of jumped a couple of my questions. you kind of laid it down in that one. So, I was looking at your story, and it almost seemed like you feel like you was targeted from the beginning, even in the womb.
Yes.
You said there's 3 strikes. One strike is being born black.
Yes.
The second strike is being born to an offspring of a freedom fighter.
Yes.
And the third one is fighting for liberation. So, do you feel like that you was targeted from the womb?
I do. And some cats try to say, man, you paranoid. I said, I've been called worse than that. I've been, I recall a situation. I think it was 7th District Chicago Police Station. Used to be on 61st and Racine. And I remember they had about 7 of us inside the police station. And the young police, he came in and he said, which one of them is related to Hampton? The Hampton. So it's kind of quiet in the holding room. An older pig, he came in. He said, what's the problem? What's the hold up? He said, I'm trying to figure out which one was related to Fred Hampton. He said, you ain't got to act. You didn't act. He pulled out a file cabinet. He pulled out a photo, like a fresh photo of Chairman Fred. He put the picture next to our face, and I was like the 3rd person. He said, that's your man right there. And he put the picture next to my face. And, I remember being suspended from school just for writing about who Chairman Fred was.
Wow.
I recall when I was a Hell captive, in fact, the name that they had dubbed me in infamous Menard. Menard is a notorious place, one of the most notorious concentration camps, prison for those of y'all that use nice words. Menard, he was there in 1969, my father. I was in 1999. And I recall the brothers even dubbing me, the name, the moniker they had given me was Deja Vu. Because I was placed in the same cell house since brothers was downstairs. They say, man, where you at? I said, the North Side. They said, that's where the champion was at. I said, yeah. They said, what gallery you on? I said, I think this is 7, 8. They said, what cell you in? I said, you know what, brother, we're going to stop this conversation right here because this getting too close. I said, they said, you deja vu, man, and you've been here before. Yeah.
Now you say you served 9 years in prison.
Yes.
What landed you into prison?
So
what got you into prison? For our audience who don't know,
yeah.
I know.
The technical charge I was given was they locked me on this case, because mind you, they give me a number of different truck throw cases throughout my life. But this case that stuck, which I ended up subsequently doing 9 years, I was this was post right after the verdict that came down at the LAPD, Los Angeles Police Department, beating Rodney King. And for those youngsters who don't know about them, they Google that, the whole Rodney King case, in which this before cell phones was popular, but it was videotaped, you know what I'm saying? Rodney King being beat, and they went to Semi Valley, and the police were acquitted. There were uprisings, a lot of people call them riots, but there were rebellions that happened throughout the country, throughout the world, in fact. And I was targeted and given a trumped up case, and they said I supposed to had firebombs from Korean old stores on 63rd and Halsted, due to the verdict that came down in Simi Valley. And when I went to they had the trial, the legal lynching, that's what we call it. It was a legal trial. I think it was Mary Lacey, the prosecutor, and Judge Michael P. Tooman. He's still in Cook County right now. They were doing the trial, doing the legal lynching. They was like, aren't you Fred Hampton Jr.? Don't you believe this? Nothing about the alleged case. Even when they brought the store owners in, it was questionable if the store had even been firebombed.
So it wasn't about the situation. It
No,
was basically your background.
That was the whole thing. Don't you believe this? The store merchants, by them being a tool, they was trying to figure out, man, what's going on? Because it was questioned if the store had even been firebombed. And I was subsequently sentenced to 18 years. And at that time, you would do half of that time. And I was transferred to every concentration camp, including the infamous TAMS, the Supermax. I was placed in the Supermax. There were attempts made on my life. We call them Harold Washington food trays. In honor of the former mayor of Chicago, who they poisoned, they killed. There are these type of food trays they would give you. We couldn't say you eat, you You might want to take a, we said, you might want to take a picture with 11 more guys, 12 disciples, called your last supper. You know what I'm saying? So they shot at me through the gun towers in 1998, a pig by the name of Voight. And an Americano prisoner jumped in front of me because the buckshots in his collarbone. August 1998, yeah.
So that was an attempt on your life.
No doubt about it. So there were a number of attempts on my life, yeah.
Number of attempts.
Yes.
Do you know offhand how many attempts was on your life?
The ones that I know about, just, you know what I'm saying, because just because I survived don't mean that,
right.
You know what I'm saying, wasn't happening. I can think of 5 offhand, you know what I'm saying, just inside the concentration camps, from them sending agent provocateurs, they put in the cell with me. One guy was mentally ill and he tried to kill himself. Mm-hmm. And then they brought him upstairs in Menard, North Side, and they put him in the cell, and he came in, and then he said, "You Hampton?" I said, "Why you ask?" He said, "No, I'm trying to kill him." I said, "They told me, hold on, just wait you get upstairs. I want to stay with Hampton." And I said, "Wow, it's known in jail. That's the hardest case to beat, a jailhouse murder." Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the type of situations. You know what I'm saying? In fact, at one time I wasn't even writing letters no more. I was writing wills to like, this is what you can have when I get out. But this is what you can have, because I didn't plan on coming out of there alive. You know, in fact, when Minister U.E.P. Newton said that if it was not for the people, I would have come out of there in a pine box. If come out of there at all.
What year you came out?
September 14th, 2001.
Oh, so, and this was around Rodney King, that was 91, 92, right?
Yeah,
Rodney?
yeah.
So how was life after, how do you adjust to life? I know technology, in the 90s, technology was just booming.
Yeah.
Music was booming, everything was, 90s is a different special era.
Real talk.
So how do you adjust to life?
Well, when I went in, there was a couple of guys on the streets that they call the brick phones, the brick cell phones. So that was like a big thing, like 2 or 3 guys got a brick cell phone, and that was like a big thing. And mind you too, when I was locked up, a lot of time I did jail. I was locked up in the jail inside the jail. I was in isolation. A lot of time I was locked up. They would bring. I would come out every once in a while. And I remember one time in 1995 in Galesburg, I said, man, if I get one summer just out in population, you know what I'm saying? And I remember that they used to laugh, a lot of brothers laughed at me that I come out and there's one cassette tape, Ghetto Boys, The Good, The Bad, The Ugly.
Yeah.
I said, man, y'all, this shit banging. And they was laughing, they said, Chairman, that shit old. I said, it's new to me. So when mind you, 2001, this is 3 days after September 11th. So I'm in isolation. And I'm in Stateville segregation. We locked up. We'd been on hunger strike. They cut our water off. We ain't got access to no water, nothing. So September 11th is eerily quiet. You can't hear nothing. It's 2001. So you can't hear nothing. So there's different rumors going on. They told me, man, they told me they're going to come and kill all of us. The world finna end. We ain't got no access to no technology. We don't know what's going on. So next thing you know, they come down, take me downstairs to the captain downstairs, and so you been hearing what's going on. I say, hey, hold on, I'm locked up. I said, Fred Hampton, give me the prison number, nothing to say to you. I don't know what's going on. Y'all know where I'm at. I'm in the cell. Because I never heard this quiet before. So we hearing different rumors about this whole thing about September 11, New York, different stuff. So everybody make up these different rumors, but we don't know what's happening. So 3 days later, September 14th, brother named Fahim, I believe his name, out of St. Louis. He was in the cell with me, and they came to the door and they said, "Let's go." And you're always expecting something, a last minute stunt before you get out, Yeah. And I said, "Man, brother, keep your head up, man. We're gonna be in contact." And he said, "I said, do you want me to do?" He said, "Man, brother," he said, "Man, eat a hamburger or something for me, man." And I said, man, I cracked him. I said, I don't eat meat. He said, man, Chip, you better want to eat the hamburger for me. I said, I got you. So I'm coming out, and your property, whenever they transfer you, they play control games with you about your property. And you're deprived of so much, this stuff means a lot to you.
Right.
So I'm trying to get
Okay.
my cassette, my property. You know something? So I'm like, well, give me my property. So the pigs,
You said cassette.
it's a cassette tape. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we all into CDs by the time you
Right.
get
So I hold my cassette tapes. I'm like, give me my cassette tapes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm walking around isolation, I hold my cassette tapes. So the people, personal property, the pigs, they playing games. Do you have any proof it's your property? So little brother from the back say, Chairman, leave up out of here. You know, so I'm like, whoa, pick your moves, Chairman. Go on and get up out of here. So when I come out to the population, I don't know. So the first people I see, keep mad, y'all been seeing brown jumpsuits. And that's we went in isolation. Then in the population, you see prisoners with blue on. Then I'm going step by step. I see people with blue on. Then I come past the administration, people who work up in the visiting room. All of them got on this red, white, and blue. You know, this around September 11th. So I'm seeing all these people with these red, white, and blue. I'm like, damn, what in the hell am I walking into? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what type of situation I'm going into? So then I remember just coming out, and then my man, one of the comrades in the Panther Party, Stan, we driving. We ran, and I really didn't breathe until I got to a certain part in the hood. I said, if they come down, at least I know where to run to, you know what I'm saying? And I remember talking to some youngsters, somebody was on a cell phone, they had them little earpieces. And I said, man, my dude got an issue, but to be careful, you know, talking to himself. They said, no, I said, got an issue. I said, Chairman, they talk on the cell phones now, you know, they talk on the earpieces. So all this has been, you know, just like bombarded. Y'all went through the usual parole, and you gotta go down there and you gotta have ID. So I've been going down to the 99th King Drive, getting into it with the people down there. They telling me I need some ID. I said, I know, that's what I'm telling you, I need ID. They said, we need your ID to give you ID. So I'm back and forth. So I'm thinking a parole violation for not having ID. Yeah, so that's just some of the stuff I'm getting. Adjusting back to the prison outside the prison.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so you get out of prison. Of course, hip hop did a big change. You know, when you was coming up, before you went in, hip hop was more social, political, for the people, by the people. I believe Public Enemy was out and all that good stuff. You know, more social conscience music. By the time you get out, it's totally different. But what made you turn to hip hop? Or was you into hip hop before you went into prison?
It's some old footage on me on YouTube when I'm walking through Sherman Park. I'm about 18, and I'm popping some lyrics back then. And I remember us running to this brother named Big Matthew. He had I don't know if y'all remember the old cable box, the big brown cable box. And it's like his lady was a sister by the name of, I think, Rowena. The video's on, and I just remember us trekking, running all over to their house, piling up in their room, and around this TV with this big cable box on top of it, just watching the old videos, the Biz Market, Big Daddy Kane, all them cats in the videos. And when I got locked up, they played with my mail with this one brother named Chris. He would get different stuff like the Source magazine and stuff like that, and I would check it out, you know, stay abreast. I always, as an organizer, I try to keep my ear to the ground. What's going on? What's the jargon? What's the lingo? How people communicate with each other? And you know, I had a thing. I mean, Rakim. That, you know, in fact, that's how I got my mom to check out hip hop. I remember when I first Detroit with me and Rakim at first touched down. He was like, man, Chairman, it's an honor to meet you. I said, this is tripped out. Good. It's an honor to meet you, brother. But it was still residue from the real. You know what I'm saying? When I got out, it was still, you know, you still see some remnants of it, you know. And then you seen like so many other dynamics, like, you know, just like our community. There was still remnants of our community, like on the block. You know, because hip hop is an example. Like even Mos Def talked about it. People say, what's happening with hip hop? He said, what's happening with us as a general? You know what I'm saying? Right. So with the organizations, our community, our families, so on and so forth. So there was still remnants of it. You know, I can tell people when I grew up, I can walk my block blindfolded. I can tell you who stayed in what house. You know, so I walk past my block blindfolded. And even with the music, you can, you know, we knew what a cat was from. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can tell you his background, he from such and such, he from this state, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to this whole chaos that we were hit with, where individuals popped up and even the turnover rate was like that. You know what I'm saying? Even I'm not no big fan of sports, but basketball team, if a player was associated with a basketball team, he was associated with the city. He played, you thought he really had some loyalty to the Chicago Bulls.
Right.
As opposed to now, it's a dynamic with a turnover rate. A person may be traded here and there. It's like no symbolism, no loyalty. Even the street organizations, you know what I'm saying? It was a structure. So there's a structure with hip hop. It was these cats are associated with that. They, you know what I'm saying? At least they saying that they, they at least they believe what they're saying. As opposed to we have been flooded with frauds.
Exactly.
We have been flooded with frauds. You know what I'm saying? And counterfeit. I'm talking about, it's cool. I mean, it's going to be a few counterfeit dollars in the game, but I mean, we have been bombarded. I'm talking about and this in regards, even when a lot of these cats are abstract conscious. I'm talking they're saying about the people. It's it's nothing with the people.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing authentic. We got GMO tomatoes, GMO vegetables,
Right.
plastic, everything else. It's a fraud. You know what I'm saying? And it's a contrast to the real deaths and the real attacks that we going through with this fake world, this fake, the society is giving us. So it becomes antagonistic, it becomes nasty, you know what I'm saying? Because you say, man, they saying stuff that I can't connect to, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me backtrack real quick.
Okay.
Now, when you was in prison.
Let me know if I get too long-winded with the question too loud.
When you went to prison.
Yeah.
What happened in prison that made you say, when I come home, I gotta go hard. I gotta do prison reform? What was so bad? What was the worst thing you saw in prison? It's like, man, this ain't right. I gotta go hard. They not treating us right. We political prisoners. Even the ones who not political prisoners, they just being mistreated.
Yeah. Well, let me say, let me word it this way. When I was kidnapped, taken to prison, I always say I went to prison, I was kidnapped, and I was taken to prison. And also, this is no slight on nobody else. I was locked up for what I was doing. We talked about Cook County Jail before I was saying about being built on top of toxic waste. Before I got put in Cook County Jail, I didn't wait for it to hit me. You know what I'm saying? We talked about what's going on inside. I was doing organized my political prison before I got locked up. You know what I'm saying? This was brought up in my case. They were like, you talked about this, then you write this article, then you say this. So because of my politics, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of organizations say, we don't know if you're a political prisoner or not. This prosecutor said it. She said, oh no, he's a political prisoner. He's the judge, Michael P. Tolman. They made it very clear. Due to who he is, who he represents, that's what they are hitting with this sentence. In fact, when I was locked up, the bond they gave me, the ransom,
Right.
It was 3 guys in front of me, from the Judge Fox, a short judge, in 2016 California. 3 guys in front of me had some murders. I remember this. And their bonds was extremely lower than my bond. When I got there, my bond was $1 million. The police said, "Ooh, you $1 million man." You know what I'm saying? So because of the politics, what I was doing for picking that legacy up and clear what's happening in our community. We talked about Cisco liquor being put in our community. We tried that before I got locked up. Now, when I was in hell captive, the conditions, you know what I'm saying? We talked about the toxic waste, and then we talked, and they all throughout the Pontiac, have brothers who have to go on visits with black net mask over their face. Black net mask over their face, rubber grill over the mouthpiece, chain shut down the floor. We addressed and talked about these. We challenged the PIN number system in places like Clantrade, like we call Centrade. So we continue to organize, you know what I'm saying? So like when Chairman Frager, it inspired me to keep on doing what I do, you know what I'm saying? In fact, we referenced it when they transferred me. I think was, okay, y'all put me on tour. I said, I'm going, my next stop, I don't know. Every place they said, and Warden asked me, I think it was Grambling in Galesburg. They took me down there and said, we having problems with you. I said, yeah. He said, problems transferring you. No one wants to accept you. I said, well, it's a campaign out there. I don't know if you heard about it. Say, Free Fred. He said, yeah. I said, well, the streets want me.
Yeah,
He said,
Phoenicia.
he said, well, we gonna send you somewhere. He said, well, where would you like to go? I said, well, since I guess you just, that's not the question. I told you, free Fred, you know, so where I want to go. I said, man, you can send me to Alaska. Just give me a good stay code. I'm gonna organize the Eskimos. I'm not a fugitive. I'm not on the run for nobody. Well, I'm in the Stateville. We call it Deathville. That was my first time in the maximum penitentiary. I got there March 10th, date of Harriet Tubman's death. I remember they taking me out of Shawnee, and I remember overhearing on the TV, somebody told my Biggie Smalls and that kid. I remember that. And they came to get me early in the morning. They came in the cell, and they said, come with us. You're going to the medical. I said, no, I didn't put a request in for medical. I'm cool. So they was whispering. So the guy who was in the cell, he was shook up like Elvis Presley. He was trembling. He was trembling. And so I got on seeing all these guards. So I got to name their name. I said, Sergeant such and such, why are you here? This is not your shift. Captain such and such, so 25 guards. So they took me out. So I'm the people here who taking me out. So we got there. They had the helicopter waiting on me and everything. And people called. And I subsequently taking the Stateville. Now I remember going there my first time to Max, and then I remember seeing them rats run through the gallery. The grime on the oil on the door. And the prison guards had about 6 shackled. And some guys were hollering through the wall, through the hole. Man, you better not bring nobody. You put in the cell with me. I'm going to do this to him, do that to him. So the guard like, okay, now which cell you want to go in? I said, man, whatever you want to put me. And I remember brother Jackie Wilson, or the Wilson brothers. That's who Jane Byrne and Magic College. She put a 10,000 bounty on their head. John Burns tortured them. Jackie Wilson, he was in cell with the cell. And I remember them taking me down past them. And I was my first time to Max penitentiary, Max concentration camp, and they put me to sit downstairs with some guys down there, and we was, man, in the conditions, we organized a hunger strike shortly after that. And this saved the 77 Yearly Inside organizing, and they was the Lieutenant Luther Manning was lieutenant. He had these notorious beatdown crews. They would come in the morning, they would open the chuck hole, they would throw tear gas in there in the morning. And you don't get a boiled egg or a tear gas. This is how it was in the beatings. They put me in the cell. Come here if I'm going too long with this question.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Okay, because I'm flashing back while it's like therapy for me too. And they put me in the cell with this guy who knew me from another camp. So they put me in there with him. He was like telling me the rules. He said, man, be cool, Chad. He said, just ship Minister KT for the BDs. Just ship them up out of here. He said, man, they ain't playing up here. I said, yeah. He said, man, they come through, they beat us on Monday morning, and then they come through on Wednesday afternoon. So I said, huh? He said, yeah, the guards be beating us. I said, man, ain't no motherfucker gonna beat me on no schedule, man. He said, no. I said, no, I didn't say I can't get beat, but ain't nothing on no schedule. So I said, why did you have me go on the set with you, man, Tone? I said, Tony, I say, all due respect, see if I can get a cell change. I'm not gonna go on nobody with me on no schedule. So I'm sitting there, shoes tied up, had these raggedy gym shoes up, tied up, and we organized a hunger strike in there, and it exposed the beatings that was going down. And we would do stuff like flood the cells with the water, and the deal was, we put the word out, okay, man, TLC, y'all, waterfalls, you know what I'm saying? Okay. And what day we gonna organize it, Thuggish Rugged Bone, first of the month, you know what I'm saying? So we would use hip hop,
right.
So we got to become innovative on our communication tactics and organizing. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. That's creative too. You gotta be creative. We gotta
work with. Ain't no gift pack revolution.
Right.
Ain't none.
So let me fast forward real quick. So we talked about how you got out and technology has changed on you. So you enter in the hip hop, right? What artists are you working with as you going into hip hop? All right.
When I first touched down, I did small things because M1 of Dead President did a song out of me being locked up, but I remember people seeing the Dave Chappelle block party with Mos Def.
Yes.
And played a phenomenal role. I'm flashing back to that, how that happened. I ended up in New York on a one-way ticket, and And I remember we touching down and the Dave Chappelle block party. Cass was telling me, man, ain't no way possible you're gonna be able to find out where this location is at. And so we get there, touch down with our organizations, we moving around. So I remember coming in through the entrance and the guys at the table, like, we looked for, I said, it should be on there somewhere, Black Panther Party Cubs. He said, he looked, I said, well, you look for it, so we kept it moving. And you look at the beginning of that movie, when I walk in, this was unscripted, when we walked in, they happened to be doing like some sort of, I think a press circle, different cats. So I walked right in the thing. So Kanye and them, they looked, they see me. So I walk right outside, I jump in the little press circle, and I tell Common, I said, that's right.
So they knew who you were?
Oh yeah, we had we had some situations with different artists. We was in Pride. It was a big thing at the Hip Hop Summit where it kind of got antagonistic with Russell Simmons and them. You know what I'm saying? So we had a thing called a code of culture. We weren't allowing nothing to move. In fact, this guy Twister's manager at Comedy, he said, man, they talking about y'all all over. That's what they saying. He said, I don't want no videos up here, man, because y'all hold people accountable. Because we wanted, this wasn't no bullying type thing. We like the movement, we understood, we knew the history, how James Brown wasn't planning on doing that song, Black and I'm Proud. A-Trap Brown, you know what I mean? Not only Alameen, they held them accountable. And so Castle, they was known about us. They said, man, we up in the ante. It wasn't just we had a discussion with the brothers from the Roots late at night at the club in Philadelphia about Mumia Abu Jamal's case. You know what I'm saying? So we never was no stargazers. You know what I'm saying? We said, okay, whatever, anything in our community, Chairman Fred said, nothing should be in the community that don't benefit the community. So our thing was just having an afro or some dreads, that was going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to play some point of unity. And we held people accountable. We reward those who do the right things, repercussion for those who don't. So we have been acknowledged, and some people have a disdain. They say, oh, here come Chairman Fred. You know, we not just want to come and say, okay, cool. You know, man, you talking about promoting this and that's some green juice. How does this tie into the tangible, you know what I'm saying, conditions? You know what I'm saying? Like even today, now people talking about, this person said this good statement. No community. Now you got the United States, Bob Hope do real deal stuff. Bob Hope told the U.S. government he didn't want to go perform for the U.S. troops no more. The next day they said the FBI shot through his window. Wow. He was back out there doing his performance. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So when I came back to the Dave Chappelle thing, when we came to the block party, Big Daddy Kane, man, he telling his brother, he said, man, this Chairman Fred. He said, man, I'm gonna touch down with him. You know what I'm saying? So I remember rapping with him. I remember going up on the stage. I remember some other cats, you know what I'm saying? I ain't want to no names. They was trying to tell me about it. The stage is too crowded. You know, I said, well, you know the remedy to that? Get up the stage. You know what I'm saying? And so we put out the case of political prisoners, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? And Most Def, who I see as who played a key role in the code of culture, and so many other forces. You know, so I just want where we go, we win people at some points of unity. So that was a tactic in using hip hop as a tool. And I got the mic. We talk about. I ain't want to say I want to shout out my homie. We talk about the political prisoner cases of Rochelle C. Q. McGee. You know, Sunday out at Cody, you know what I'm saying, Sasha Shakur, you know what I'm saying, we got to tie in. That's been our thing, wherever we go.
Okay, so we don't hear a lot from the offsprings of our fallen soldiers, our fallen heroes. And I can only name probably one other, and I could be wrong. I could just be out of the loop, and I might be pronouncing her name wrong. And that might be Asaya Shabazz, Malcolm X daughter. Mm-hmm. Other than her and you know, do you feel that the other offsprings of these fallen soldiers, our fallen leaders, don't want to come forward because they probably feel like they've been, they probably still being watched, or what the case may be, or why they haven't spoken out or haven't got the spotlight?
I think it's a number of reasons. A lot of us, they hit us hard. We've seen the unglorious stories. We've seen the pain, the poverty that come with this here, and also you coming in with 1 foot in the grave. You watched them. The state got a head start on you. you hear stories about Tupac as a child. They watch. They know your potential before you know your own potential.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think back in life and teachers who, I said, damn, that was the police. That wasn't no regular teacher. So it's different dynamics and different people approaching you, you know what I'm saying, to take you away from this here. And then also you seen your not times many cases people seen your parents abandoned. You seen isolation, and the heat that comes with it, and it's people, a lot of people on the outside there take position like it's a natural position to pick up, like your father was a plumber, your mother was this, but the deal is so many dynamics that come with this, and you battling against not only the state directly, but so many other forces, and I just feel fortunate to be able to be able to politically sum up what happened and where we at now, and it's a struggle. I mean, I'll be, at least if I can speak frankly, better yet speak as Chairman Fred to you. I'm just it's, man, the price you pay for it is you know what I'm saying, and there's forces who I've seen, and mind you, it's a lot of people who related to freedom fighters who don't even know it, who've been attacked, who locked up.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And even if you don't know your own potential, we had planned for this tour one time, the grandson of Malcolm X, Malcolm Shabazz.
Exactly.
He was assassinated.
Exactly.
They said, they sent Agent tours, you know what I'm saying? And hardcore. And just in general, our people, we are targeted. But the whole dynamic of, you know what I'm saying, they told the whole case with his mother, you know what I'm saying, how to inform it, what the grammar school was, you know what I'm saying? So you got to come in, we got to start prepping for the COINTELPRO. We are fetuses. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because you coming through the door, you being targeted, and then it's like you battling for your sanity. The politics gives me nothing else my sanity. I remember growing up, this brother who, we in the car, we drive. He said, why you keep looking around? Don't you got your license? I said, yeah, I got my license. That's the problem, because who I am. And you fight for your sanity. I remember growing up, to this day, we can't eat Good Humor ice cream, to this day. Good Humor ice cream was the truck, the company that collaborated, the government used to frame my father, Chairman Fred. Wow. I remember people laughing at me when that truck come down, all the children running ice cream, and I remember running out there, and then saying, damn, that's the Good Humor ice cream truck. You know what I'm saying? And it's the whole, or just when the police pull us over as juvenile, they said, man, why you scared to give me your name? We 12, 13 years old. And other children not knowing that. So you don't have the client, your peers, you don't have nobody to rap with, the dialogue. This impacts relationships. Mm-hmm. So you can't even, I'm talking like simple thing like, I remember in Galesburg, this brother, he might be watching that, Monte. And it was a cool brother, but I remember he called me on a surprise visit. His lady was coming to visit him. Mm-hmm. He had her friend come visit. We in Galesburg. And I remember coming down that visit, this sister was shook up. She was trembling. Mm-hmm. And she said, man, who is this? I said, Monte, I appreciate it, but I said, but you brought her to, she don't, man. She said, they was asking me all type of stuff. Mm-hmm. I said, dude, I said, just little simple stuff like relationships. It's stuff that people take for granted. It don't, you know what I'm saying? Just a conversation that comes with it. So, like Field Marshal George Jackson, his sister brought somebody to visit him one time. He told me, I said, I hope I didn't run him away. Because I think when we talk about certain things, it's people talking about stuff. Now it's cool to be politically correct because Trump letting you know this and that. Right. But you got to mind you, it's to go against the grain. To have to be, when I was locked up, the police, the same police, Sergeant Joseph P. Grubezek, the same one that surveillance was involved in the assassination of my father. Wow. That's who gathered all the groups together to lock me up. I found this out by going through Black Panther Party newspapers. You know what I'm saying? I came to the director, I think his name was Neil. The director came to me in Big Muddy River, we call Big Bloody River, 1994. He told me, he said, I was there when your father got out in 1969. He said, I told your father to leave the country. I said, that would have been illegal, wouldn't it, for him being on the pill bond? He said, man, lock him back up. This is the same, not his son, but the same one. So you have, you know what I'm saying, the same dynamic, the same individuals. In Chicago, not only the names have not changed, some of the same individuals. Gorman, please check out that name. Gorman, they own property all through Chicago. So Gorman was Joe Machine Gun Gorman. That's who he got his name from, him assassinating Chairman Fred. His son is a district state's attorney. Other son on the fire department. These all of the deals said their family lineage. It continues on and on. So you have families of people that are targeted, and some people come and grab them, raise them up. So it's difficult.
I'm sorry to hear that, Chairman.
Yeah.
And the fact that they went so far as Malcolm X's grandson, and he didn't have children. I'm pretty sure they're gonna keep going farther down the generation. As more generations come, they're gonna keep targeting.
Yes, indeed.
So for the past few years, I want to say about the last 4 years, we see it emerge again like the 90s of Black consciousness awareness. And it could be because of social media. I don't think Black consciousness had ever went anywhere, but it's very prevalent now, especially on social media. We have more of our people being in fashion statement with the dashikis. Everybody want to be pro-Black. We see a lot of our stars, Beyonce or Nick Cannon, who's being a little more outspoken. So now we have these emerging scholars and speakers, such as Tariq Nasheed, Blue Pill, Red Pill, Dr. Umar, Brother Polite. We have the elders like James Small, Dick Gregory. So have you ever worked with some of these people? And how do you feel about the conscious community? Are you part of the conscious community?
I'm more of a part of, the contested conditions community. I guess that's the term I'm going to use, the contested condition community. I'm saying that to say, because this is no slight in any individual you name, but the deal is, I think, as Chairman Fred would always say, ain't nothing all bad, nothing all good. It's good certain conversations are happening. But I remember a discussion some while back. I was talking to Most Def. Y'all seen Bay. He was telling me certain stuff. And I said, man, the stuff I got to deal with. I got to, like, even just yesterday, the helicopters over our house. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these are real deal, tangible conditions that we also got to deal with. And mind you, I think that we need to have different forces in different arenas. And I'm a real big stickler for structure. You know what I'm saying? In other words, like, what's your lane? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, this you good with this, so on and so forth. And a lot of times in our community, especially with this genre, with the movement, with our people, it's like I never see. It's like it's a more intensified example of the lack of accountability that people have with black people. With that person, like I said, with the Black Panther Party, a person is on the black jogging suit and just say he a Panther. And people say, okay, I said, we're not cut from that. It's a definition for a Chevrolet. It's a definition for a Ford. It's a definition for the Black Panther Party. It's a definition for a revolutionary. You know what I'm saying? We have to be upfront about that. We gonna be like in relationships. We gonna say, okay, no, this is be clear. Okay, what is this? One night stand or relate long term? Right. It's nothing personal. It's a different dynamic. So we call it so not to be disappointed. So not just lump our whole movement in it's that black stuff. That's not the case.
Right.
It's not the case. And you learn yourself through contested conditions. I say like a person who's a shadow boxer. If they say, man, they be getting down, but if they never had a fight. And that's, you know what I'm saying, you really don't know who you are. You know what I'm saying? So this guy named Muhammad told my brother, he was in Pontiac, he was bragging to me, said, Chairman Fred, I haven't smoked no cigarettes in 7 months. I said, brother, I haven't eaten no lobster in 7 years. Ain't nothing back here. You know what I'm saying? So you get to know who you are under contested condition. This recent All-Star basketball game, people was talking about it. It told me how great it was. Some people said, no, I disagree. The score was 100 and some, 92 to 182. He said these players it was like dunk contests. There was no defense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's so again, we have to look at our movements, our struggles. And that's what, in fact, I remember this discussion, I was talking to him about this on his birthday, prior to him being assassinated. I was talking, I say, see, structure, it helps you, it enhances you. You know, and in Chicago, they held me accountable and said, okay, we respect you as his son, Chairman Fred's son. We're going to see what you're going to do in town, Supermax. We're going to see what you're going to do, try to organize and work that situation up with the vice lords, disciples, the stones. You know, I'm Chairman Fred Hampton Jr., not just because I simply look like him or talk like him. held accountable. And that's what we have to have in our community, with our structure, our community. Hold us accountable, hold people accountable. So, if you see what's what, and you might say, oh, you know what, that's not my arena right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm better fit for this, I'm better fit for that. And I just deal on absolute, say, oh, it's the black stuff. And you speaking of Nick Cannon. There was a comment on Facebook the other day, and I said, they put up the picture of the press conference where he supposedly left America Got Talent, and all of a sudden there's this perfectly manicured press conference where he's left this array of black people, the afros, everything looks beautiful, the jackets are put together, the shirts, Black Lives Matter. And I said, man, just overnight for someone to throw a disciplined press conference like that. You don't question that. You would do it in a relationship. If a person just popped up all of a sudden with a nuclear perfect family, like, hello, honey, I'm here. This is my dog. This is my children here. They doing good in school. I have 2 boys, 2 girls. You just all of a sudden popped up. So with our movements, right? Just don't hope and say, okay, this is too. We want this quick fix. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The deal is we come with contradiction. The black man said, struggle. Minister U.E.P. Newton said, his mama said, her preacher said, a certain amount of suffering is good for the soul. If these cats ain't got ain't that, I don't go this far, but on the plantation, they had a thing sometime. When you get transferred to another plantation, now them cats will tell you, let me see your back. Let me see what type of whips you got on your back. Wow. You know what I'm saying? When you come on your plantation, it's just perfectly fitted thing. I'm your spokesperson. Hold on, man. Let me see. You ain't got no whip marks. You ain't got to know. So individuals they raise up as our spokesperson, it's nothing personal. But they can't relate. The organizations, the individuals, they give us the organizations, these art entertainers and athletes with resources who they giving money to, they couldn't find the hood with a GPS map. If they wanted to.
We mentioned Tupac. So Tupac is an offspring of freedom fighter. And we know that a lot of struggles Tupac went through. And the media loves to portray that it could have been a gang-related murder. It's I forgot this guy's name. He's on YouTube. It's a white guy who went deep into Tupac's life and saying that he had so many attempts on his life for being assassinated, and he know it was through the government.
He's watching now.
What do you think? Do you think Tupac was assassinated by the government, or this was something gang related?
Tupac, was it gang related, and was he assassinated by the government?
Or it could be both.
Both. I'm gonna quote Pac on this one. Pac said the government is a gang, the police is a gang. So Pac was assassinated by the biggest gang we've been attacked by. The government assassinated Pac. They took the path to cut about the gang. Before we go into the other dynamics about when he said stuff that went against the grain, and later on came out when he got the trumped up case. The first police when he got shot. When he got shot, the first police he seen was the same police that was there to arrest him on the trumped up rape charge, sexual assault charge. These ain't no coincidences. When we talk about the dynamics about the different individuals, Jack Agnes, who themselves later on came out talking about their collaboration with the government. Pac talked about this when it was unpopular. You know what I'm saying? And the deal is, Pac had his contradictions, you know what I'm saying? But the deal, Pac needed organization, the organization needed Pac. Yeah. And the deal is, you needed that strong dynamic, you know what I'm saying? And he was deprived of that, you know what I'm saying? And he was on it, and the state knew his potential. He made revolutionary leaps and bounds. He worked what he had to work with, you know what I'm saying? And that path to Cub helped make our work and our discussions, whether conscious or unconscious of it, so much of an easier, better road to travel, because he approached the people as real as you talk when he went to the party, he wanted to go to the hood parties. He related to the people.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no abstract above you. You know what I'm saying? He expressed his pain, not from a subjective, not from a personal thing. He put it out there, and not as a defeatist, not like oh, wowsy me. He laid it out. He touched on, he went against the grain. And again, Pac hit that hip hop arena at a time. kind of something like with Malcolm, the media, they said they made a mistake by letting Malcolm X get too much of that media. Because he came in at a time when it was in the beginning of it, the media.
Right.
Pac hit that hip hop. That's what they strategic. That's what they had this legacy. That's what they create these the cat Young Thug. That's the type. You know what I'm saying? To try to wipe out. You know what I'm saying? How Pac hit them cats and related to them cats. It's possible. The Brazil, the favelas. Them cats don't speak no English. You know, Sierra Leone. When they hear about Pac, they on 10. They relate to him, you know what I'm saying? Because he related to the masses of people. And that's a problem. And that whole dynamic about the Panther Party, a legacy that has been attempted to be wiped out. He put it in venues and that, again, that are not the conventional venues. The Minister UEP News said, our people don't read as much as we want them to read. That's a reality. He, you know, he talked about the, you know what I'm saying, made it cool. Even the more you listen to it, you know what I'm saying, it's still, one thing about the politics, it's not milk. It has no expiration date. You can't say, oh man, that's way back then. They make jokes about it. How you can still listen to his pieces now, and you still can relate to it. So no doubt about it. Let the record. I'm Chairman Freddie Hampton Jr. The government assassinated Pac. Real talk.
I believe it.
Yes, indeed.
Especially, I'm sorry I forgot this man's name, but it all made sense. The many attempts of assassination on his life.
Las Vegas, the strip he got together alone. Las Vegas,
Right.
I mean, come on now.
All them cameras out there.
Oh, come
There's
on,
so
man.
many people out
Yes,
there,
indeed.
and they can't find who murdered this
Yes,
man.
indeed.
Every time I think about Pac, I think he was the next Fred Hampton. Just the mind, the age. Your father's 21, him being 25, and their mind was so far advanced. They were so far for the people.
He's a genius, you know. Again, and people say, you know, he had this contradiction. I want to say this again. He was deprived. That's why I'm making a point. I struggle with our programs right now. Today we had the Triple C's, Children, Community, and Cubs. To at least try to get these youngsters with something. And I said at the funeral service, we had to do our own thing for the repast with Stanley Tookie Williams. And I said, Tookie Williams came up in the climate like I grew up in, deprived of such an organization, the Black Panther Party. We owe it to people, I'm saying, because you get the best out of you, you know what I'm saying? So Pac was deprived of that. We got to make a commitment, never again. You know what I'm saying? When people be deprived of that politics, we just can't give them the only options be to give these cats some either abstract, quote unquote, conscious stuff or some more reactionary stuff. No, real deal. They should be forced into absolutes. Real deal situation that, like Pac said, I have my contradictions, my pros gonna outweigh my cons.
All right. Last question before we get into some fun questions real quick. So this is our last serious question. Chicago constantly in the media about violence. Many neighborhoods are having many small cliques, gangs, it's no structure. No matter how good of a parent you may be, you could try to steer your child from the gang culture, and somehow your child is going to end up in it because they live it and breathe it, and they in the environment throughout their whole life, 24/7. What advice do you have for parents who know their children are active members or becoming or going towards to being into a gang, joining a gang?
It's a serious stage in the game, and it hurts. When we give out stats and facts about what's happening in Chicago, or better yet, Chirac. A lot of people say they don't like that term, Chirac. I said, you don't like it. Shit, how you think we feel? I said, how you think them babies, how you think them pregnant sisters getting shot in the stomach, how you think they feel? How you think the children who gonna walk past them vacant buildings and broken bottles and hit police sirens every day, and you want them to be quiet, you want them to keep on playing like it don't exist. One thing about it, they say, no, this is Chirac, this is a war zone. And our thing is to draw the correlation from the merchants, the contractors in Afghanistan, Africa, to the Sam and Mike, to the stores that's exploiting these, you know what I'm saying, that's telling these young sisters they can get a job not because they can count good, they got to go in the back room and do some acts with them in our community. Our job is to draw the correlation from the depleted uranium that's in Iraq to the vacant buildings and broken bars in our community. Our job is to draw the correlation from the prisoners being stripped naked in Abu Ghraib, Baghdad, to 17-year-old sisters in Cook County Jail being forced to rinse out their sanitary napkins for reuse. So that way we can have our job is to draw the correlation when they talk about the Muslim travel, the travel ban to the travel ban these cats got. The police, they can't go from 57 in Racine to 59 in Racine because the police gonna pull them over. So the deal is, look what other communities are doing. They telling them it's a war on us, and the system is doing it to them. So our thing is tell these our mamas stop. Don't. Chairman Fred Senior said we don't go to Frank James and tell him to stop what Jesse James is doing. So the deal is ain't no coincidence that you go through a title search in Chicago. All them properties these killers having at the University of Chicago is getting this property. It's not no coincidence that they talked about this 2 days ago about how Chicago is the hub of the whole country of body organ transplants.
Right.
Ain't no coincidence these babies getting these head shots.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And before they die, people don't start talking about, okay, where the body parts going? You don't do that. You don't do that with a cow. You in the slaughterhouse, you don't talk about, okay, we're gonna sell this to this farm, to this farm. You at least wait till the cow is dead. Mm-hmm. This was going down. A criminal psychologist said the first thing you look for on a crime scene is who benefited. And it's the same entity. That's what we gotta start telling these babies. This here, it's a war on us, and the police ain't your friends. You know what I'm saying? And these guns that they turning into these different churches, and you find these same guns pop up on the side of these babies who got shot in the back or got shot in the head, and their lungs and livers all of a sudden being displaced somewhere else. Chairman Fred Senior talked about this way back in the day in the 60s. He said black people go to the hospital, Cook County Hospital, go with a common cold. Next thing you come up dead, this will happen to some white folks, this is your sex organs, your brain tissue. He said, come on down and see Deputy Minister of Health, Ronald Doc Satchel. We say support the Black Panther Party because we can develop our own institutions, call these individuals who got resources, all these softball, Joaquin Noah, these different, Bill Wayne way, these fraud philanthropy things, where this money ain't going to no real deal issues. Even you can't name me an artist in Chicago nothing in Chicago, conscious or reactionary, that's donating some real deal support resources some on the ground that's getting down. None.
You laying it down tonight. Thank you. So let's get into some quick fun questions real quick. Since you're from Chicago.
Yeah.
Harold's or Uncle Remus?
Now keep in mind, I just do the fish thing. That's okay. I'm for Harold. Okay, I guess I would have to. Okay, I'm guessing I ain't had no fish. Okay, so I'm do the chicken. And I ain't against chicken. I'm just saying. I'm a now if I say one of y'all I better come to get a free fish meal or something out of one of y'all. I'm forced into one of them. Okay, let me see. We was in the West. I had that fish recently. I'm a man. Okay. If I get
that hard, huh?
Harold's they got a little franchise too lately, so Uncle Remus still kind of down in the hood. I'm gonna go with them this time. I'm gonna agree with it.
Uncle Remus.
Yeah.
Chance the Rapper, Kanye West.
I can't. I'm about to say I can't go. I can't promote that. I can't go with neither right now because I need some real. I'm gonna say this: with those two options you gave me with the food, it's tangible. I can touch down with them. I need something. I need something authentic. I haven't touched down with either one of these four. I touched down with Kanye West some years back.
Right.
I was just see Clinch Fish Salute, talk brother Malik Yousef. You know what I'm saying with it.
Right.
I haven't touched down. I need something. I gotta see you. I can't. I have no communication.
No
I can't. Yes, it's not. I don't know if these people are actually. I mean, real or not. I don't. You can tell me they on TV. It's like the movie He's Got Game. They say, man, the news said it. So I don't know. I don't know if these people they living people.
And they ran out of Jesus said word.
I need to see that real deal. You know what I'm saying? I just can't go for no. I don't. What they call it? What they call that football game?
Madden.
No, but what they call this big thing? They got fantasy football.
Oh yeah.
I don't play. I can't deal with fantasy football. I can't deal with people who I don't know. I can't touch down with. I gotta spend. I gotta touch down with you.
Okay. 90s Chicago Bulls or the 2000 Lakers.
Oh, you got to put a pencil to my head for some of these choices. Hey, I'm gonna pass on this too, because some of these choices you You like ask me, I'm voting for Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. Am I a Democrat, Republican? Hey, choices like these, who needs enemies? I mean, hey, I can't. I mean, hey, I need something that's related to my community. I'm a pass. Call for Lifeline.
Okay, well, since you into music, Donnell Jones or Dave Hollister?
We had a conversation. Donnell Jones we had a conversation. Now he did now make sure I'm correct now. Make sure I'm correct. He was in Chicago for a while, correct?
Yeah, actually, well, I never shared with you my first cousin.
Oh, what? Oh, now I gotta be subjected. My comrades told me that's our first cousin.
Yeah, not married.
Oh, well, I'm gonna say this. And this before I do that, don't say this though. Well, we had a conversation. I done the conversation with him. I really did. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Again, a major prerequisite for me for anything is authenticity. You know what I'm saying? That, you know what I'm saying? It's tangible. So I'm gonna have to go with Donnell Jones.
Old school versus new school?
We had a debate. We did the show, and Lady Rage, our coach, she was talking about, well, they say this is old school. They say this is gold. She say some people say gold school, whatever, the golden era. But that whole dynamic, again, it's a fork that the communication that it served in. I mean, I told you earlier so how I use a lot of the hip hop just to organize. So I'm dealing with the old school. Hey, I don't want to start shouting out the Rock King in the face, you know what I'm saying, the Raids and everybody else, you know what I'm saying, but hey, that played a hell of an era, and I just, you know, old school, yeah.
Okay, might be a little off with this one, since you couldn't answer the basketball question.
Yeah.
White Sox or Chicago Cubs?
Now, I'm waiting on them to make a big old thing about this, because we say the Cubs, all we hear. First of all, we say this. We say certain terms. People's like, oh, we thought you talking about this. So we say, I hear it so bad. We so politically damaged. We say Cubs. We think about the Black Panther Party Cubs. So we say the Black Panther Party Cubs. That's our thing. We say, y'all see that big C with that panther through that? That's the Black Panther Party Cubs. And if the Ricketts or anybody else got a problem with it, our office is the streets. I work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we gonna see the Black Panther Party Cubs.
What's something you know in your heart your father will be proud of you about?
Not cutting no corners. Not cutting no corners. And just, you know, I think I feel I don't want to speak, you know, what Chairman Fred was about. Chairman Fred could have been a lawyer. Chairman Fred, he sacrificed, you know, so many other forces, and he didn't cut no corners. I think that's a big thing with Chairman Fred. He called it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? I think that's something that he does. I think that's, you know, and he paid the price for it in so many ways. You know what I'm saying? In a major way, he paid the price for it. So, and also especially not cutting no corners with his legacy. You know what I'm saying? Even if some conflicts with me, the step back and say, no, that's, you know, I tell people, I said, we are the Black Panther Party Cubs. I'm Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. That legacy for that man is signed and sealed. It's very rare that we can come out of this situation still with our manhood, with our womanhood, with our humanity intact. That's what this system does. It guts you. And very few of us can go to that grave and say they have not just all the way been gutted. It's, you know what I'm saying? Something that your soul, your everything, your principle taken from you. To be able to come out of this situation, your physical shell has been taken from you, has been gone. To still come out with that legacy still standing. That's something that we owe to people who stand up and fight. I don't care if it's a freedom fighter, can the music industry, whatever. It's important that you give them that. Give them. That legacy to be able to stand up to be a charismatic representative. It's hard to be a man, a black woman. You know what I'm saying? These babies now ain't no childhood for them. I'm telling people it ain't happening. You can't have no conversations with these. It's like going to Liberia in the 80s. This is a nice little 12-year-old baby talking about this and that. Hey, now, are you jiving? I got to deal with some real deal stuff, Sierra Leone, got to do these diamonds. These children dealing with real deal reality. So just even to come out to be knowing who you are, you know what I'm saying? That's known to fight back for other people. And to refuse, they just try to water down Chairman Fred, that some people around us, when he said this, he meant that. We don't cut no corners. We don't care if it's family members. I don't care if it's people that was in the party. People try to say, there's one sister who was in the Black Panther Party. I make a difference. She was not a Black Panther. She was in the Black Panther Party, in the Illinois chapter. She made a comment. She said, well, Chairman Fred Jr., he wasn't even in the Black Panther Party. Why, And I said, it's ironic she said that because she was in the Black Panther Party. And they try to use certain individuals, bring up, well, this person knew him. Just because you're around somebody don't mean that, you know what I'm saying? It's people that be around that don't know it, you know what I'm saying? And they try to use them to co-opt their legacy. We have very few examples that we can identify with. And it's important because if you, Reverend Nat Turner, if you let one of the things get switched around, that can distinguish him from being a freedom fighter, which he was, or some sort of mad, crazy person. It's important that we say, no, man, Chairman Fred was very clear. He said, I'm clear. I ain't gonna dash through no piece of ice. I am a revolutionary serving the people. You know what I'm saying? Whoever it be, he went against the grain. So I think he would dig the fact that I say, man, no, that legacy with that man. And people understand in other arenas, they had a big thing about that statue, DC for Dr. King. We had to go back and recarve it. They said, Maya Angelou said, that one word in his speech it changes the whole spirit of his speech. Chairman Fred, it's some cat, matter of fact, I hope this go out. It's some cat we got recently on Facebook, got a Fred Hampton Facebook, we got all this Bob Avakian stuff picture up on it. That's done to hijack the legacy of the Chairman Fred. There's some other dude named Melvin Hayes on YouTube. You can Google Chairman Fred chest contraband clothing. We don't care who it is. This is a bogus situation to hijack the legacy. We not that legacy belongs, man. We're gonna keep it intact.
Okay, well, this concludes our interview tonight. I would like you to leave us with some spoken words and also tell the people how they can reach you.
Now you know what's bad about me. I don't. The people now you gonna trip on me. I don't know I was in the studio last night, and they said, "Jim, you don't know your stuff that hard." And I subconsciously, I think I fight that because I got this thing about I do poetry, but I'm a revolutionary. I don't know if I got none of my briefcase or got something with me or not, but I don't know my stuff that hard, but I don't play no games with it though. So I've got a few minutes of checking us, so I got something with me though. I don't know in that briefcase. Over that briefcase, so I guess I've got a piece with me though. But meantime, between time, if you don't, we can play one of my pieces on this later on. But y'all will check out when I'm open up see if there's something in there. Check out this piece this remix that me and Face did called Never.
Are you at Scarface?
What?
Oh,
Man.
okay.
Look at that green 470 poetry.